take their pictures, and then sit back down. If we all stand up as graduates come in, it's going to make it difficult for a lot of people to see. So I'm just going to request you to stay seated, and when you see those that are of great importance,
Ladies, gentlemen, and assembled guests, will you please join the graduating class for the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the singing of the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At this time, I would like to welcome 8th grade graduates, parents, relatives, junior high school staff members, members of the school committee, Dr. Joseph Gilbert, Dr. Eileen Williams, and guests. This year, once again, the school system assumed severe budget cuts, especially at the primary and intermediate levels. At the junior high school, we maintained quality education with the resources that we had to work with as a result of the teachers' hard work, pulling together, and doing the job in the classroom. Discipline was a lot tougher. We had several cases which involved the police department where court action had to be taken. As a result of these situations, our student handbook for next year has been revised, with safety being a priority for junior high school students. The financial picture looks bleak again for the 1992-93 school year, but we will do the best that we can with the resources that are made available to us. It's hard to believe that tonight is graduation. The 8th grade class was an exceptional class to work with, and this class will surely be missed by all of us. We anticipate a lot of visitors next year from the area high schools. Significant happenings during this year were our division structure remained basically the same. The only significant change was in grade 7. Three divisions received an introductory course in French and Spanish. Parents and students have already made their choices for grade 8, providing we have our foreign language program in September. Next year's grouping structure is still not finalized. However, the levels will remain the same as we had this year. The divisional structure will be explained to all parents in the 1992-93 student handbook and at the orientation program held for parents during the first week of October. The health curriculum was in its 3rd year this year, offered in grades 6 through 8. The physical education teachers took more of a leadership role. Mrs. Letty and Mr. Tartufo did an outstanding job presenting this program to our junior high school students. The program was a big success. We had 3 outstanding assembly programs as part of the health curriculum. First of all, peer leaders from Bridgewater Random Regional High School came over and did a number of skits on peer pressure and decision-making for our 8th grade pupils with lengthy discussions following these presentations. We had an AIDS patient by the name of Norman who spoke to the entire 8th grade in really a most revealing and rewarding experience for all of our 8th grade students. His story was simply incredible to hear. And our 8th grade students also participated in a teen pregnancy program. One woman who became pregnant in her teens came to spoke to our students, and a question and answer period followed. The 8th grade students participated in 4 substance abuse programs in the spring, culminating with a mock trial in conjunction with the District Attorney's Office from Bristol County. Staff members worked on interdisciplinary units with posters being displayed throughout the school and the cafeteria. Mr. Caputo and the staff deserve a lot of credit, as this was really a tremendous success for the building and for the students who participated. The 50s and 60s dance took place in May with a real live band called Dale and the Duds. The students and staff enjoyed this evening and both dressed appropriately for the occasion. The Social Studies Department sponsored this dance, and this has become an annual event at La Liberty. The Friends of La Liberty raised enough money to support our Massasoit League programs. As you are well aware, these programs were not in the budget for school year 91-92. Students had to pay a user fee, and fortunately, through the fundraising activities done by the Friends, the user fees were returned to all participants. A big thanks to the Friends for their support. Their programs included boys and girls basketball, cheerleading, baseball, and softball, and this year, for the first time, the spelling team and math team also were part of the Friends group. 28 students this year received the Presidential Academic Fitness Awards instituted by President Reagan. This is the 5th year that these awards have been given at La Liberty. In order to receive this award, students must have met the following criteria. Students must have been on the honor roll since they entered the junior high school in grade 6. Students had no 3s in conduct and effort. All of these students maintained honor roll status through the 3rd term of grade 8. These students have already have received their certificates yesterday at the awards assembly. This year we had to revise the criteria, as we no longer gave any standardized tests to junior high school students. The only testing that we did this year was the state-mandated assessment testing, and these results will be available to all school departments next November. Please hold your applause until the end, but with the following students, please rise. These students received the Presidential Academic Fitness Awards: Brian Barboza, Hillary Burgoyne, Carrie Ann Campbell, Christy Clemmy, Catherine Kucha, Paul D. Benedetto, Tara Duty, Allegra Dutzman, Mercedes Dutzman, Catherine Calaharis, Allison Keeler, Allison Leahy, Christopher Lind, Charles Lepresti, Craig McDonald, Tanya Nunes, Brian Pickett, Allison Pillsbury, Michael Praviti, Jason Rabowen, Beth Riondo, Nicole Robbins, Kevin Ryan, Jennifer Silva, Carly Souza, Jesse Tokaz, Jenna Weinstein, and Caitlin Wynn. Now, these students deserve a big round of applause. "42 students received the Student of the Month Award this year. 14 of these students were in the 8th grade. Would these students please rise for a big round of applause for 8th grade students who received the Student of the Month? Please rise. 8th graders who received the Student of the Month. Students of the Month, there is a criteria that has been established to recognizing deserving student. A student continues to maintain high academic standards, has maintained improvement in raising his or her academic standards, has demonstrated through actions the value of school citizenship, cooperation, and respect for adults and fellow students, has also through his action been helpful to fellow students and or teachers, and his example to fellow students of the hard work, honesty, and empathy. This program has been an outstanding program for parents, teachers, and administrators, and will continue during the 1992-93 school year. Students of the Month this year went on a field trip to the Boston Children's Theater in June, and then they went over to Faneuil Hall. Students of the Month also received certificates, and for the first year we had the banners to go on the back of cars so that, as they were Liberty Junior High School Students of the Month. Mrs. Bradshaw did an outstanding job in this program, getting the luncheons together, taking all the pictures, and she was just incredible hosting all the Student of the Month luncheons. We also have some students that when they were in the 6th and 7th grade were Students of the Month who are now graduating in the 8th grade. Would those students please stand? The junior high school staff has been studying the middle school concept this year, and staff members visited 7 different schools in Massachusetts. We are looking into this concept in the future, depending on budgeting issues that still have not been resolved. We have joined a middle school alliance program, which will benefit teachers and administrators. In this program, there'll be many workshops, and several items will be coming out of Bridgewater State College in the fall. They'll be opened up to all Liberty teachers. Myself and Ms. Mazzone are on the committee that will be going over to Bridgewater sometime in August to work on the committee as well. So we are looking into this for the near future. The 91-92 math team, under the direction of Mrs. Deborah Dowell, placed second in both the fall in the fall event, and they placed first in the spring event. This was a tremendous accomplishment as we defeated Rehoboth. The members of the math team, would you please stand when I call your name? Hillary Burgoyne, Carrie Ann Campbell, Catherine Kucha, Ryan Crandall, Paul Di Benedetto. I pronounced that name twice today, and when I went on the intercom, when the math team came back, I blew it 3 times. Tara Duty, Catherine Carahalis, Allison Keeler, Jonathan Porter, Michael Praviti, Nicole Robbins, Kevin Ryan, Jennifer Silva, Carly Souza, who was a member of the team, placed first in the individual math team event in the spring, Jesse Tokaz, and Caitlin Wynn. Those students deserve a big round of applause. This year we had a health fair that was organized by Mrs. Pacini. It was held at La Liberty in April. I think it was on April 16th. We had over 30 vendors that came. All the students participated, and we had a lot of parents here, and I think Mrs. Pacini put a lot of work and time and effort into that program. Also, the following students had perfect attendance for the 1991-92 school year in the 8th grade. Please stand as I read your name. Megan Broder, Matthew Shavs, Catherine Kucha, Blake Cruikshank, Amy Gardner, Jason Hastings, Eric Litzen, Charles Lepresti, Allison Pillsbury, Jennifer Silva, Guy Tomasi, and Caitlin Wynn. Those students deserve a big round of applause. We also had several staff members that had perfect attendance, and Mr. Caputo had perfect attendance. This is his 8th consecutive year that he has had perfect attendance. And last but not least, I've had perfect attendance for 16 years. I really love to come to work in the morning. Other significant happenings during the 91-92 school year. The honor roll was published for first 3 terms. It will be in the paper for the 4th term. Students will not be getting certificates for that. We had the awards assembly yesterday. Many students received, sports awards. Also, all the other teams were recognized, and it was a great day for the students who received all those awards. We had the 8th grade field day last Friday. The PTO sponsored several activities this year. We had a storyteller come in, Sharon Kendi, for the 8th grade, and Linen Company, a magic show, came in for grades 6 and 7. Lucy Therian did a folklore assembly for our foreign language students this year in the 7th and 8th grade. Sharim Klitzma did a folk music assembly program from Eastern Europe. It was an outstanding program. Many of these programs were sponsored by the PTO, the Rave, and also the Random Arts Council and the Lottery. The 8th grade yearbook was done by Mrs. Stella, and also the school store by Mrs. Stella. Student Council and Ms. Prince-Agali did many activities with Student Council, We had the exchange with Middleborough. We did a canned food drive from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and we did some various dances. The 8th grade graduation dance, which will be held tonight, we had a committee that Ms. Prinzigalli got together, made up of Ms. Mazzone, Mrs. Dawa, several other teachers, students, and parents. And when you walk into the cafeteria before you leave, they did a tremendous job getting the decorations together for the graduation dance, which will be held after the graduation. 6th grade students went to the Worcester Science Center, the 7th grade students went to the New England Aquarium, and the 8th grade students went to the Breakers Mansion in Newport. Also this year, for the first time, Continental Cable came in and did a Earth Day contest with our 6th grade students. One division, Mrs. Ashcraft took Division 6N, and they went to the New England Aquarium, and then 11 students who won the poster contest went on a whale watch this past Monday. They had a great time. Mrs. O'Brien went with those students. All of that was sponsored, by the way, by Continental Cable coming into the classroom, and they did an outstanding job in the school this year. Celebrity Spotlight, and Miss Filoni's very special person. Over 450 parents came into the building during those celebrity spotlights and very special persons. I think Miss Filoni deserves a big round of applause. Christy Lombard this year did our cheerleading, and she did an outstanding job with our cheerleaders during the season. Ms. Silakaris and Mr. Mayu did the foreign language week. Mr. Crook, who retired from boys basketball, decided to take a shot with the girls. He did a very good job. I believe the girls ended up with a 10-6 season, and he was at the awards assembly yesterday. The boys basketball team, as I mentioned yesterday at the awards assembly, they were the Massasoit League champions. They lost their first 2 games. They played a little helter-skelter. I've seen a lot of basketball on my day at the junior high. Mr. Tartufo rounded those students into good shape. They won 14 consecutive games. Would the champions please rise? Champions of the Massasoit League. Our girls softball team also did a good job. They were fighting for the championship up to the last game of the season. Mrs. Carahellis did a super job with them. And also the boys team under Mr. Gilrain was also fighting for in the last 2 weeks for a championship, and they had a successful season. 8th grade tours, the students went to BR, BP, and Coyle Cassidy. As I mentioned, Mrs. Dower did the math team. We hosted, Liberty hosted the fall meet, and we had over 100 students in the building. We didn't even know any of those students were here. It was just an exceptional day for those students. Mrs. Antine did the spelling team, and Carly Souza, who I mentioned was individual first place winner in math, was also a second place overall winner in the spring meet at the spelling meet. I think Carly deserves a big round of applause. Mrs. White did the Young Authors Convention. We had over 150 parents that attended the Young Authors Convention. I'm telling you, we had more parents in this building than I could count. There were so many activities going on. Tony said, "What's happening next?" I said, "I don't know. I thought you planned that one." But we had a lot of different activities going on in the spring this year. We had Mrs. Goldstein did Critics Corner, and I know at least between 50 and 100 parents came to Critics Corner in Mrs. Goldstein's room. The hearing impaired students did a monthly Adopt a Mild cleanup by the hearing impaired class. They also did aluminum recycling efforts from the lunchroom. This money was used to purchase Japanese red maples that have been planted in the front of the school. Mrs. Nye has done an outstanding job with the hearing impaired students, and I think she deserves a big round of applause as well. Our 6th grade annual social studies fair occurred this year in the spring. Mrs. Souza and Mrs. Crook planned that. Other 6th grade activities included the spelling bee, a boxed lunch picnic, harvest happening. They did various plays throughout the year as well. We had many rave volunteers that came into the building this year in the math, library, great books, and even into the classrooms to help out our students. I can't say enough for the PTO at the school. People don't realize the small little checks and the little things that the parent-teacher organization does for the junior high school. But they helped out during the orientation program. Mr. Kaplan showed a slide presentation to the 5th grade students. He took 6th grade students with him next door. And through my interviews this year, we decided to send some 6th grade students over to the Merrill School to explain some of the activities that were going on at the junior high school. The PTO raised $5,000 on the magazine drive that we held in the fall. Some people didn't get their magazines on time. They called the school, we called the toll-free number, but this was a very big activity that we had the money to spend on various activities throughout the year. We did a book fair in the spring. They also donate money for field trips if we run low on field trips. They did the 8th grade barbecue yesterday. We had the baseball card show sponsored by the PTO. As I mentioned, Sharon Kendi and Linen Company were also part of this. The PTO also purchased a 25-inch color television this year and also a VCR for our school as well. So the parent group has become an integral part of our program at La Liberty. Thanks to Mrs. Nancy Costa, President, Carol Mayu, Denise Tower, Kerry Aho, Mary Machado, and all the other parents that helped out during this fine year with the parent-teacher organization. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank Peggy Sheehan and Judy Pacheco, the vital mainstays in the office, getting the program ready together at 3:30 in the afternoon. The program was done. It's just so hectic the last couple of days of school and also throughout the year. I think they do a tremendous job, and I think they deserve a big round of applause. As my wife always said, they have to do a good job, right? They work with you. Joan Pacini, our school nurse, did an outstanding job this year in the health office. I think Joan deserves a big round of applause. Mr. Kaplan, I can't say enough about what Mr. Kaplan has done in the guidance office, working with students, parents, staff, both administrators. I think Ken deserves a round of applause. Last but not least, Tony. I can't say enough of what Tony does in the building. It's not easy to be an assistant principal. He's involved with a lot of discipline problems, but beyond that, he does a lot with the students. On a positive note, through the Governor Alliance on Drugs program, he has taken care of most of the training, not just at this building, but all of the teachers from K to 8. We had the mock trial this year. He's been involved in the Student of the Month luncheons. He's also involved with getting the students ready for graduation. I can't say enough about Tony, and I think he deserves a big round of applause, too. I would like to thank Mr. Swenson, who has come back and helped us with the seating arrangements tonight, along with the following students: Rebecca Dower, Brian Jones, Michelle Leclerc, Tim Rogers, Lori Sullivan, Christopher Sylvia, for help seating the graduates. Thank you, Walter. It's nice to see you. At this time, I'd like to make special recognition to one student. This student was not with us for half the school year. This individual had a tumor. She went through all sorts of treatment during the first half of the school year. We did not know if she would be back for the second half of the year. She came back, and I really can't say enough about the courage that this girl has done, above and beyond the call of duty, coming to school, keeping up her grades, getting along with the students, her teachers. It's just amazing that she is here tonight, and she's part of the graduating class. And I talked to several of the 8th grade teachers before I decided to mention this, and they thought this was a courage presentation. And some of the adjectives that they came up with were intrepid attitude, very brave, fearless, dauntless, courageous, fortitude, determination, undaunted, resolute in what it takes to really make what the world is today. Would Lisa Griffiths please stand up? I think we have to think about Lisa when we come to work in the morning. You know, if we have our health, I think we have everything, and I think that's the most important thing. At this time, I would like to announce the academic award winners voted on by the 8th grade teachers and also done through the honor roll. These awards are very significant, and I think that the students getting these awards are much deserving. So would you please come up when I announce the winners in the particular academic achievement awards? First of all, in Division 8A, Carly Souza. By the way, I think Carly is probably one of the most outstanding students that this school has seen in the last decade. I've seen them all come through. I'll tell you, she's outstanding. Division 8J, Tanya Nunes. Division 8N, Allegra Dutzman. Division 8H, Billy Beth Ola. Division 8S, Jennifer Weeks. And Division 8E, Rebecca Paris. The next set of awards are the Principal's Awards given for scholarship, leadership, school spirit, attitude, responsibility, dependability, and courtesy. Students selected for this award worked hard during the year in a quiet and exemplifying way. 2 girls and 2 boys were chosen this year. The 2 girls, before you come up, I just want to read what you've done and then you can come up. Carly Souza is a high honor roll student, student of the month, member of the student council, member of the math and spelling teams, placed 2nd in the Massasoit Spelling League individual competition, placed 1st in the Massasoit Math League competition. Just an outstanding school citizen, and Carly also did some work with me in the office as she did some of the announcements in the office. Carly Souza. Caitlin Wynn. Caitlin Wynn was a high honor roll student, student of the month, member of the student council, member of the math and spelling teams, placed 2nd, a high honor roll student, student of the month, member of the girls basketball and softball teams, is just an outstanding school citizen. Caitlin. The 2 boys, Charles Lepresti. High honor roll student, student of the month, president of the student council, member of the boys basketball and baseball teams, and just an all-around super kid, Chuck Lepresti. And last, Christopher Lind, high honor roll student, student of the month, member of the boys basketball team, member of the baseball team, and an outstanding school citizen. Chris. For me, it's great when I read these and I see they're all-around school citizens, they're involved in different activities, they play sports. There's nothing like the student athlete, as I've mentioned to these students time and time again. I would also like to acknowledge some students who helped in the morning exercises. I mentioned Carly helped in the morning, Catherine Kucha, Hillary Burgoyne, and Jana Weinstein. Before I conclude, the custodial staff, under the direction of Butch Slavic, Peter, Randy, Tony Gallego, they deserve a big round of applause for keeping the building maintained. I'm telling you, the teachers that went out to visit those 7 schools, when they came back here, they could not believe, even though our custodial staff has been cut, how immaculate this building is kept. And I think that's a credit to the school system and to Butch and his men and women. Before I turn it over to the teachers giving the other awards, there are a couple things that I'd like to say. You know, we're not sure where the override stands. As you know, the vote comes up on June 27th. I would hope that everybody would go out and vote on June 27th. I don't want to say goodbye to any staff members, so I'm not going to make any presentations or any names. We hope that everybody will be back with us in September. However, I do want to mention several people that I think did an outstanding job at the end of the year. Lydia Littlefield in our library. She did all the book lists. She tracked down students. It was unbelievable. Only one student didn't bring back a book. We had very few missing books, and she did a great job as our librarian this year. I can't say enough what Lydia did for us. Al Mayu did an outstanding job getting our AV equipment together, fixing the equipment. He even took some of the equipment home on his free time, brought the equipment back, and saved the school system a lot of money, and also did a lot of scheduling for teachers when it came to VCRs and so forth. I can't say enough about what Al did for the school. It's nice to see Mr. T back. As you know, Mr. Tartufo was in an accident. He's been out for the last 7 weeks. He was at the awards assembly yesterday. He's at graduation tonight. It's great to see him back. And Mr. McCormick, who's substitute, did a great job with the students in the physical education department. And last but not least, I can't say enough about my compatriot for 22 years who has retired, Mr. Bruno. Mr. Bruno and I have been close over the years. I wish him good luck. I think the retirement party said enough about Mr. B and what we did for him at the retirement party held at White's. And he and I will stay close. And I said if he's in the neighborhood, he can always stop over for a cup of coffee and maybe deliver one of his hot dogs to us, and we'll definitely see Mr. Bruno. So I want to wish Mr. Bruno all the luck in his retirement. The next set of awards that we'll be giving out will be the Elizabeth Keneally Award. This is given out by the Social Studies Department. And would the following teachers please come up? Ms. Mazzone, Ms. Prince-Agali, and Mr. Oliveri.
Good evening. I always enjoy coming up first because I get to be the first teacher to say congratulations to the graduating class.
Congratulations.
Winston Churchill, some of you may know, once said, "I am easily satisfied with the very best." This year's recipients of the Elizabeth Keneally Award in Social Studies are two remarkable young adults. They may be best characterized as dependable, dominant, and determined. They have so many other fine qualities, including an unquenchable thirst for knowledge. So it is with great pride that I present the first of the awards to Kathy Kuchar. And the second of the awards to Bubba Stanley. Thank you very much.
The next award will be given by Mrs. Dawa. This is the 8th grade math award. Mrs. Dawa.
I'm honored this evening to present the La Liberty Junior High Mathematics Award. This award is presented each year to the 8th grade student who has achieved the highest academic average in the subject. This year's graduating class boasts a number of exceptionally talented math students. I've observed many of them mature from 7th to 8th graders. I've been thrilled to hear discussions in my classroom with various students defending their solutions to problems. This year's recipient worked diligently and was the center of many such discussions. This student is quiet, personable, intelligent, humble, and always striving for excellence. One of his goals was to improve his A-plus average. It is with great pleasure that I present the Math Award to Brian Pickett.
For the 6th year, we will now give the Vincent A. Scaduto Award, and this will be given by the 8th grade English teachers, Mrs. White and Mrs. Riley.
Mr. Vincent Scaduto was the Assistant Superintendent of Schools in our school system. He had been appointed to the position of Superintendent of Schools. But before he could assume that position, he met an untimely death in an automobile accident one morning on his way here to work. Since then, his mother and his family have established the Vincent Scaduto Memorial Language Arts Award in his honor. Mr. Scaduto was totally committed to the printed word, in prose and in poetry. And one of his favorite quotations was, "Excellence does not just happen, it is the result of intelligent effort." The two students who will receive the Scaduto Award tonight constantly strive for and achieve excellence in language arts. Mr. Scaduto would have been very proud of these two fine young people.
For the boys, Jesse Tokars. And for the girls, Jana Weinstein.
The next set of awards will be the Robert Boulay Memorial Awards given out by our foreign language teachers, Ms. Silakaris and Mr. Mayu.
Bonjour, buenos dias, and kalispera. Bilingual has always been beautiful to me and such an important asset for our future generation. Mr. Boulay also believed in this concept, and I therefore feel very proud to present the 4th annual Robert W. Boulay Award for excellence in the foreign languages. The selection criteria was the following: continued academic high standing, excellence in oral communication, and a strong desire for further study. It is such a pleasure to present this award to a very lovely young lady in the study of Spanish who has been a teacher's dream student. I wish her the very best of luck, buena suerte, and never to lose the foreign word. Miss Beth Riendo.
With increased technology, networking within our world, social communication systems, students must take the study of foreign languages very seriously. They are our future ambassadors. This student has demonstrated eagerness to learn, knowledge of cultures, and accuracy in oral conversation. I am proud to introduce this French ambassador, Alison Pillsbury. This is your award. This is from me.
The next, not award, but the next presentation will be made by our President of the Student Council, Mr. Charles Lopresti.
Thank you, Mr. Jaffe. On behalf of the Student Council, we would like to present La Liberty Junior High School with a brand new 24-inch color television set. It is our hope that it will aid in the educational process and enhance the fun of learning.
That will go along nicely with the brand new VCR that was given to us by Continental Cable 2 weeks ago. So now we have a new TV and another new VCR for our teachers and our students. Mr. Caputo, you all set? Oh, okay.
Dr. Williams, Dr. Gilbert, school committee, faculty, parents, relatives, friends, and fellow classmates. Tonight, my classmates and I will share in the experience of graduation from La Liberty Junior High School. Through our years of junior high, we have shared together our hopes and dreams. As we leave this school tonight, we will make sure that those hopes and dreams remain in our hearts, together with memories of good times and bad. Each of us has grown in our own special way. Our family and friends have supported all of our decisions the best that they could. La Liberty is also like a family, where everyone is encouraged to participate and get involved. Each student feels a sense of belonging and togetherness. The teachers and staff have been full of excitement, support, and compassion. The teachers also gave us lots of hard work to enhance our minds. Mr. Caputo and Mr. Jaffe disciplined us when we needed it, and Mrs. Puccini took care of us when we were sick. All of these things were done out of caring. The people of the school are willing to do anything to make a person better, physically, intellectually, and emotionally. As our years at La Liberty have progressed, we have done more than just hard work. Other activities such as athletic or academic teams, student council, assemblies, the 50s and 60s show, and field trips have helped to make us better people. Our participation in these activities has taught us the value of cooperation and teamwork. We are grateful to everyone who helped to make these activities possible for us, especially our parents, teachers, RAVE, the PTO, and the Friends of La Liberty. Our spirit and enthusiasm has also kept those activities going. Everlasting friendships were made and will not be forgotten. Each student has gained a sense of self-respect, which has also taught us respect for one another. Tonight will be the last time we are together as one class. As we go off to the high schools of our choice, we will not forget and will always cherish the friendships we have developed during our years at La Liberty Junior High School. Our experiences at La Liberty will never be forgotten. And as we move on to the next challenge of our lives, we are confident that because of the excellent preparation we have received at La Liberty Junior High, we are ready and eager to meet that challenge.
It's very difficult for me to find anything more poignant than what Beth had to say. But I am very pleased to be here tonight to bring the greetings and the congratulations of the staff of the entire Rainham Public Schools to the graduates. Congratulations for all that you've achieved over the last 9 years in the school system. You have much to be proud of tonight. I hope that the staff of the schools have been able to assist you in learning many things. But not everything that you need to learn to be successful in life comes between the covers of a book. I read a book not too long ago, one written by H. Jackson Brown, called Live and Learn and Pass It On. What he did was, one day he was sitting around with nothing much to do and decided to start to put down some of the things that he had learned in his life that he felt were significant enough to pass along to other people. He enjoyed doing that so much, he asked some other people to join him in that, and eventually he put together a book of things that he felt were significant to know about. I've chosen just a baker's dozen tonight of things that I would like to wish for you graduates to learn to help you throughout life. I've learned that you either control your attitude or it controls you. I've learned that you either have experiences or excuses. I've learned that you shouldn't speak unless you can improve upon the silence.
I've learned that there are no unimportant acts of kindness. I've learned that it's easier to stay out of trouble than get out of trouble. I've learned that trust is the single most important factor in both personal and professional relationships. I've learned that honesty in little things is not a little thing. I've learned that you can get by on charm for about 15 minutes. After that, you better know something. I've learned that people treat me the way I allow them to treat me. I've learned that I can't change the past, but I can let it go. I've learned that most people resist change, and yet it's the only thing that brings progress. I've learned that people are about as happy as they decide to be. And I've learned that it's okay to be content with what you have, but never with what you are. I also chose 3 statements that I thought were important for the parents and the other significant adults in the audience tonight. And those are, I've learned that kids need hugs more than they need things. I've learned that if love isn't taught in the home, it's difficult to learn it anywhere else. And I've learned that I am my child's most important teacher. I hope that as you go on, graduates, and have further formal education and learn more in life, that you and your parents and your families together can enjoy living and learning and having productive lives. I wish you all the very best.
As I was sitting here tonight, I was thinking that this is my 10th graduation from 8th grade. I finally made it. These students have spent 9 years in our system. We're here giving them accolades. We're thanking the teachers here at the junior high. We also have to thank that teacher who was in kindergarten and first through grade 8 that helped them get where they are. 9 years ago seemed like a long time to go to school. Here you are today graduating, getting ready to go on to high school. 9 years from now, you'd be out of high school, out of college, and maybe into grad school. 10 years ago, I sat out there, and my son was graduating. He's out of high school, graduated from college, is in law school. Time flies very fast. One thing I had said to him, and I've said to all of the classes that I've had an opportunity to speak to, is not to be afraid to accept the challenge that is out there. Stand up and be counted. If you don't like the system, work to change it, but don't be afraid to stand up to change it. Accept the challenge to do the very best you can. Don't be afraid to try a little harder to get a better grade. You have one thing that you can use as a goal in your class. You have a young girl who had a challenge. She accepted the challenge. She fought, and she's here with you. We all stood up and applauded her. If each and every one of you take on the tenacity and the determination that she had to make it to graduation, you will be able to take that the rest of your life, and you will have accomplished a lot of things. And each and every one of them will make your parents proud and make you feel good for being a good person. Congratulations and good luck.
Robert William Davis, Jr., Sarah Elaine Taylor. Richard J. Sear, Susan M. Paval. John F. Sullivan IV, Allison M. Powell. David Raymond Lapointe, Cindy Marie Quick. Scott Ryan Fisher, Shannon Curtis. Jason Ryan Conley, Jacqueline A. Gravois. Ross K. Charpentier, Dion Marie Mello. Joseph R. Cleary III, Jennifer Gonzalez. Frank A. Homer IV, Taryn Joyce Berry. Keith Paul Lane, Crystal Bullock. Arthur John Silva, Jennifer Mary Whitty. Jeffrey Thomas, Mercedes Dutzman. Jason William Spencer, Tara N. Duty. Ryan P. Olson, Jennifer Ann Silva. James R. Medeiros, Carly Beth Souza.